In this video, I'm going to discuss some of the movies in my collection I've been watching recently. Hey, it's me, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another video. So, movies in my collection that I've been watching recently, the third one of this series now, and this is just basically me discussing some of the movies that I've been watching from the collection behind me, the DVDs behind me here, over the past couple of weeks. So I've picked out 6 of the movies that I've been watching that have been in circulation from my movie collection here. So let's deep dive into it. Let's get into what I have been watching. So the first movie I want to discuss is The Goonies. The Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies. He was like the producer on this, and it was a Richard Donner movie. I always get confused. I always think to myself, The Goonies is a Steven Spielberg movie because it feels so much like a Spielberg type film, but it is, it's got his fingerprints all over. But I watched this recently when we on the podcast when we did the Heatwave at the Cinema pay-per-view episode with Sean and Ben, Rider Rated 18 Ben, and Sean Media Collector Madness. And this was one that Sean picked. We all picked the film out like a summer movie. Sean picked The Goonies, and great choice by Sean. It's a really good film, The Goonies, and I watched this movie back. Hadn't watched it in a while, I suppose, maybe in a year or so, and watched it again, and it was just, it was just so much fun. A family entertainment, you got this gang of kids going in this search for this hidden treasure to try and save the town and they're gonna get evicted from the town if they don't get the money by a certain point, and then they find this treasure, and it's just a really, really fun story. The villains in it are goofy. It's very just cheesy at times, but it's a good movie. The villains, I love the villains in it. I think the Fratellis they're great villains, and especially one of the brothers. He is in one of the Timothy Dalton Bond movies. I think it's a second Timothy Dalton Bond movie. Is it License to Kill? But he was great in that, but he's great in this as well. But all the cast, all the kids are amazing. We got Thanos, the MCU super baddie, is in this as one of the kids, Josh Brolin. It is Josh Brolin, isn't it? Yes. Great movie though, The Goonies. Really enjoyed rewatching this from the collection. The next movie I want to discuss that I've been watching recently is The Avengers, or in the UK as it was known as The Avengers Assemble, or Avengers Assemble. I think it was given the different name over here in the UK because there was the Avengers TV show, which was obviously not linked to the Marvel property. I think was it the show in, was it like the 80s? Was it The Avengers, or maybe earlier? Maybe it's like 70s or 60s. But yeah, there was a show called The Avengers. I think it was like spies. I've never watched it. I think they actually did a remake movie a while back. But yeah, I'm going off on a different road here. Let's start the Avengers movie, the MCU Avengers movie. We had all these Phase 1 movies of the Marvel, like Iron Man, Captain America 4, all leading up to this big ensemble movie that we were all promised, and it was all teased. The origins of making this supergroup, the Avengers, and even in the first Iron Man movie, you see that Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson cameo in the post-credit scene, where he's teasing the team, and then he's in the Incredible Hulk, Tony Stark, at the end of that movie in the post-credits, where he's talking about a team with Thunderbolt Ross in that, and then we get to this in 2012. It's 10 years old now, this movie, but it is still great. I think it is really very different than the last 2 Avengers movies, the Endgame and the Infinity War movie. It's very, very different movies, obviously different directors in the tour as well, but it is such a good movie still. It still holds up, this movie, 10 years on, and it's great just to look back and to see how far it's come in 10 years, because you look at this now and it does feel like the Marvel landscape has just changed massively, because there's so many more characters now involved, and so many different villains, TV shows, movies, and it's how many movies and TV shows have there been since this one? It's been quite a lot, I imagine. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. There's some really great scenes. I think the addition of Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. He was obviously Edward Norton was the actor playing Hulk in the original movie, but I think Mark Ruffalo. Everyone was kind of like, who's this guy? I'd never heard of Mark Ruffalo before, and then watching him on screen, he was just perfect. And I think they just got the perfect cast in the movie. They all blended well, and everyone had didn't feel like one actor or one character had more lines than the other. It felt like an ensemble movie, and I think that's what they have done, Marvel, with a lot of these Avengers movies. Every movie feels very much like an ensemble, not just like we have a leader and a bunch of minor characters. Everyone feels important in these movies, and it is great. And I think it's maybe, in the 90s, you'd never think a movie like this could have been made. And we are really, we get treated at the cinema nowadays. We get treated, and this is a treat, and we get continuous treats from Marvel. Marvel will always get a thumbs up from me. Great movie, really enjoyed the rewatch. So the next movie I want to discuss is Lethal Weapon. So this is one I watched recently, and I'll tell you the story with this. First of all, big Lethal Weapon fan. I've been a big fan of the Lethal Weapon series for years, starring Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Superb film series for me. Never watched the TV show spin-off, but I have heard good things about that. I think it's just because I'm a big fan of the movie. I just never got around to, never had the interest in watching this remake or reboot of it. But yeah, this was on TV a few weeks ago. It was on one of these movie channels, these just random ones, and it was on, and I just flicked over, saw Lethal Weapon on. It just started, and I thought, I'm just gonna watch this, put it on, something to watch, and then it started kicking in, and then it was the adverts kicked, and I was I went through one set of adverts, and then I got to another one, and I was like, oh god, you know what, I could just go to the collection here, grab the DVD out and put it on, and I'll have watched it. I probably caught up with the whole movie by the end of this set of adverts, because there's going to be tons more. And so I just paused the TV. I thought, yeah, I'm going to go and grab it, grab the DVD, put it in the DVD player, put the movie on, caught up to where I was up to. Really enjoyed the movie, really enjoyed it. It's an action movie, buddy cop movie. Riggs, Murtaugh, the characters in this are fantastic. It's just action. I love action movies, and it's a fantastic film, this one. But I got to the end of the movie on the DVD, turned it off then, and the movie was still running in the background, the one on TV, and it was 15-20 minutes behind. So yeah, I finished the movie. It goes to show it's nice to have DVDs in your cabinet. If you see something on TV, I know a lot of people use streaming services now, but sometimes you have a movie on where there's adverts. It's nice to be able to avoid those adverts and just be able to watch the movie as a whole. And yeah, I really enjoyed watching Lethal Weapon. These never get old for me. I'm never too old for this. I'm not gonna say Murtaugh's line. This is a family-friendly show. But yeah, you know the line I'm on about. Great movie, Lethal Weapon. So the next movie on my list is Independence Day, starring Will Smith, Bill Pullman, and Jeff Goldblum. This was, again, doing that pay-per-view show for the podcast, the Heatwave at the Cinema. This was a recommendation by Ben, Rider Rated 18, and he brought an Independence Day to the table on that show, and I rewatched it before the show. And I'll be honest, Independence Day is probably a film I've only seen, I'd say, maybe 2 or 3 times in my lifetime. I've not really watched this film a ton of times, but it is a really decent movie. This is a Roland Emmerich directed movie. Roland Emmerich, he has done another one I really enjoy. He did the Stargate movie back in the day, and that was a really, really good movie. Fantastic film. But he is kind of known for doing all these disaster movies. 2012, The Day After Tomorrow. There was one more recently, was it Moonfall? He directed that as well. And he's kind of the king of it from doing Independence Day. And maybe Independence Day is probably his best work, I would say, from what I've watched of the other movies in this sort of genre of movies he makes. But yeah, it is a really good movie. Like I said, I've only watched a handful of times, but I really enjoyed the rewatch. And I think this is a movie now, it must be 97, 98, around that time. Could be even earlier. it still holds up. I think it's what they do, and like Ben mentioned this, and I was looking into the like the behind the scenes stuff and reading online. They use a lot of like scale models for the alien spaceship. So it's like an alien invasion, the movie, and the Earth is invaded by alien ships, and you can see somewhere it is like digital effects, and it does look a bit kind of like Star Wars Episode 1, but there is a lot of scale models in there, and they look excellent, and I imagine they will always, always look good. In like another 20 years' time, they will still look good. I think scale models is the way, go practical effects. It always works. I know that big main explosion, is it the White House or the one of the, like the big places in America, in Washington? I'm clueless with America, I don't know any of these monuments, but that famous scene in Independence Day, that was a scale model of the building. I'm pretty sure it's the White House. But it is a fantastic movie, a really good, solid watch, and I really enjoyed it. I like Will Smith's movies. Jeff Goldblum is great. Feels like Jeff Goldblum as well in this is kind of like dialed down a bit from other movies. Like for him in like Jurassic Park, he's a bit more like charisma on command, but he feels like he's like toned down, but he's still entertaining. Jeff Goldblum in this. Bill Pullman is the president in this as well. He plays a really good role. And yeah, really good film, and I really enjoyed doing a rewatch from the movie collection with this one. The next movie I'm going to discuss is Jurassic Park, and talking about Heatwave at the cinema, the pay-per-view show, this was my selection for that. I've got the box set here with all the free Jurassic Park movies. I picked the first Jurassic Park movie, and I rewatched it, and it still holds up, that movie. That's like 19... Look, what have we got? We've got a date somewhere. It's got to be... I'm pretty sure it's like 94, this movie. I'm sure it's 94. I may be wrong. But it still holds up, Jurassic Park. I have enjoyed pretty much all of them. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard Jurassic Park fan, but I don't think any of them have been... I think Jurassic Park 3 was not amazing. Maybe just probably like the worst of the bunch. I've not watched the most recent Jurassic World movie as of yet. I'm going to watch that soon, over the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Dominion, it's called. But I watched the new Jurassic World movies. They're enjoyable as well. They're fun movies. They're entertaining. I mean, it's the same premise, though, and it feels like the same premise pretty much every movie after. They've not really kind of took it out of the box of dinosaurs escape and it wreak havoc. You've got to survive. That's the premise of every Jurassic Park movie. They may make slight little, tiny changes to the plot lines, but it's very much the same each one. But I do like them. I think they're fun movies, entertaining movies. But I still think the original one is better than the new ones, even the Jurassic World ones. Even with like the new effects, I think the practical effects in the original one with the dinosaurs, I think it just looks more realistic, and it looks terrifying. I was scared of this movie as a kid, and I'm not even kidding around here. It was like adulthood, like late teens, until I started watching Jurassic Park again, because I was petrified of that movie as a kid. It was just, it freaked me out. It really did freak me out. The T-Rex scenes and the Velociraptors. I think it was the T-Rex scenes mainly, but it would just, really spook me out as a kid. It was just like too much to handle as a child. But yeah, I can watch them now, and I really do enjoy them, and especially the first one. A really great movie. There's no way, not a chance, I would ever take a ticket though to Jurassic Park. If this become a real world thing, I would not go to Jurassic Park. Not a chance. Even if it was free of charge, I'd be like, yeah, I'll pass on that ticket. Tell Elon Musk to give out his free tickets to someone else. I don't want to go to his Jurassic Park World theme park. I don't want the ticket. But yeah, great movie, really fun rewatch, Jurassic Park. So the last movie I'm going to discuss today is Ant-Man, the Marvel movie Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd, I can't even pronounce the name, Evangeline Lilly from Lost, Corey Stoll, you got Michael Douglas in there as well. Ant-Man, superb movie. Just for me, it's just a totally different Marvel movie. It is a really, for one, it's super fun. Really, I think it takes a lot from like the likes of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, the funness and the comedy from them movies. But, you know, you got this superhero that shrinks to the size of an ant, but he is super powerful. I just love that concept. It's totally different to any of the other one ever, any other Marvel comic book hero, and it's just that I love that concept. And I think the early scenes when he first gets in the suit, Paul Rudd's character Scott Lang, and he shrinks down into and you see the bathtub. It's like this big bathtub, and it's just super size, and then his friends turning on the tap, and it's just the water's coming down. It's like this tsunami coming at Scott Lang. What am I saying anyway? Bathtub. It sounds like American. The bath. Anyway, but yeah, it's a fun movie. I think it's so well done. I really enjoyed the sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp as well, and I'm really excited to see Ant-Man Quantumania, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania coming out next year as well. The third one, and that's going to have Kang the Conqueror in as well. That's going to be superb to see. I'm looking forward to seeing. But yeah, it's cool. It's like a sci-fi comedy movie. Really, really fun Ant-Man. Well worth checking out, and I'm glad I picked it out of the collection to watch. So just to do a quick roundup of all these movies in the collection that I have been watching, I've got to say that these two, Avengers and Lethal Weapon, have been the most enjoyable movies, I would say, that I've watched recently in the collection. Had a lot of fun watching both of these movies. Lethal Weapon mainly because I just got a lot of love for that franchise. I really enjoy the Lethal Weapon franchise, and the Avengers movie. It's just so good to go back and look back at that and to see how far the Avengers and the Marvel stories have come now, and to look back and just to see how good this was. To see the ensemble cast of the Avengers coming together for that first time is a pretty special moment. Both great movies, but all 6 movies are really fun watches. If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of the movie related content on the channel, and let me know your thoughts on this video today. What movies from my collection of movies I've been watching recently have you been watching, and did you enjoy these collection that I've been watching recently? Let me know as well, what have you been watching recently from your movie collection? Let me know all your thoughts on today's video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.